Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, Mage from the Ashes. The scene is set in the Happy Dragon Chantry. There has been called for a meeting, and this time Ava is actually quite early, as she is, baking cookies in the kitchen for the meeting, and is making coffee and tea. So the kitchen and also the common areas smells like chocolate chip cookies and probably also fresh coffee, as she is placing a plate with the still kind of damping, steaming cookies on the table, and waits for everyone else to arrive.
Oscar will turn up exactly on time, as always. And yeah, she will tear herself away from reading 3 or 4 books at the same time in the library. And yeah, she will come and sit down and wait for everyone else.
Theo will also arrive and sits as he gives a head nod to Nazca and Ava.
Yeah, Neil's also there. She also has shown up on time. Um, she smells the air, smells the delicious aroma of chocolate chip. Does not show her disappointment that it wasn't peanut butter, but that's okay. She'll put that on the request list.
Ava, I believe you're taking point on this meeting. I'll take minutes.
Oh, am I? Okay. Ava kind of looks well, I mean, slightly uncomfortable when that's said, as it's usually Nausicaa who does this. So, hi, welcome everyone. Anyone heard from Julie or Grace? Take it they're busy.
Grace is working at the shelter tonight, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay. Then yeah, let's get started. There are several issues that we need to discuss. We need to discuss the situation in the basement, in the temple. I think there's also the matter of the supposed death of
Dr. Nottingham.
yes. And there's of course everything that's tied to both these events. Perhaps it's easiest to start with the latter. I think it has less complications. Nausicaa, perhaps you could tell Kat and Theo about our meeting at the Hermetic Chantry with this gentleman.
Yes. Me and Ava, after meeting with other members of our order, went to the chantry to give it another thorough look. We met somebody there, a man who introduced himself as an enemy of the technocracy, but not of the traditions. Apparently, he had previously been a member of the Celestial Chorus. He seemed very interested in proving to us that he was a friend, and we were reluctant to give him any information. However, we did give him the name of Dr. Nottingham. Apparently, he wanted information on the technocracy, and we thought this is information that he could not do any damage to us with. And, as I'm sure you all know, the next day in the paper, he had been killed. We can assume it was by this person. I can't remember out of character what his name was.
I don't know either.
Let's call him a person.
A person. Now, I for one, and I know Ava is of the same mind, found this incredibly suspicious. He's clearly of... Either he is a mage of considerable power, or there is something strange afoot.
I think the power surge that happened that same night had to do with it as well, but I'm reluctant to believe the story in the papers.
I would say, considering the level of information and power that they have, pulling a fake death is not very hard for them to pull, honestly. But it would have to serve a purpose. Like otherwise, there's kind of no point.
Yeah. I don't know. My suspicion is I have the feeling that this person that we met might have actually been either a technocrat or this doctor himself. Because I can't believe that. Well, like Nausicaa said, it's too much of a coincidence. We find someone of the traditions at the abandoned chantry coincidentally at the same time we are there. That is part number one. Then, yeah, we don't notice anything specific that might be suspicious, but why would someone be there? And then, yeah, the next day, this guy is dead. I don't know what purpose it is that they have for this, but I find it really, really hard to believe this story. Perhaps, I mean, I think it might have something to do with them trying to lull us into a false sense of security or something. After all, if the head of his at a clinic would have died, then we could presume that the technocracy would be in some form of disarray, at least here in the city, until they found a suitable replacement.
I'm okay. Yeah, no, I don't believe that for a second. That, like, if they really think that faking that guy's death is going to lure us in a false sense of security, then they're dumb. I might be new, but from all the description that we have about what the technocracy is, it's a multi-headed hydra. Like, that guy, yeah, he's at the head of a clinic, but at the end, he's just a fucking nobody. What matters is the organization. So, yeah, no. Like, if it's the plan, like, the guy on top is really dumb.
I think if there's one thing we can say about the technocracy, it's that they're not stupid. It is difficult to work out what is going on here.
So what could be their motives? Is it a trap?
Maybe, or the other option is that on the face of it, this is what happened. The person we met went and killed him. No, so out of character, Tim, we're saying that this random ex-chorister guy that we weirdly met went and killed Dr. Nottingham, who's the head of the Zeta Clinic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what there's a newspaper article about it on the Mage page.
Okay, I did read that. I just didn't get the significance immediately. Sorry, that guys.
What was I saying? In this case, the truth is he may be here to help for his own reasons, but he was overly keen to make a good impression on me and Ava. And he seemed offended when we wouldn't place our trust in him immediately. I believe that we should treat him as an extremely threatening entity until we know more.
So, all right. Homeboy shows up, starts trying to get all buddy. Y'all ain't about that life. He gets a little salty. He dips. Murks the fucking head doctor in the Zeta Clinic.
Yes. Also, he is aware of where all the chantries are in the city, including the ones that we have been recently investigating. He knows of this place.
Mm-hmm.
Ava, would you be... Sorry, Kat, go on.
Nah, so... You're right, Homeboy's a motherfucking wild card.
Yes. He was, I can attest though, I do believe him to be very powerful. He very easily dismissed my remote viewing effect.
As well as mine.
Do we know what
Ava.
exactly he's observing? Maybe the will of God or some shit?
Nausicaa shrugs. We could try and get in contact with members of the Celestial Chorus. See if they know anything about him.
It's an option, yeah.
Ava, do you think you could draw him so that the others know what he looks like?
I'm not an expert on... I mean, the drawings I make are kind of childish. I don't think anyone could really recognize what I'm making, but...
Could you give a mental image to the others then?
I could.
At least then he won't be able to sneak up on us. Not without. Although a mage of his capacity may be able to, and he'll shrug, alter his appearance, but who knows?
Well, we can guess what he probably has some expertise in. We know he's probably got some prime on his back.
Likely. Also, if he did cause the blackout, that means he may be proficient in Ars Essente, the sphere of forces. At least, if I were to cause a blackout, that would be the sphere I went to. So, what we're saying is, this person, we should treat him as a threat. We have no reason to do otherwise. And we should try to learn more about him.
That seems like a reasonable assessment.
Speaking of threatening people, I've done some research into placing wards. The unhappy truth is that I myself, and unless the rest of you have untapped power that I am unaware of, believe that placing wards around the Horizon Realm against the entities that we fought is far beyond our capabilities as a cabal, even if we all work together.
We can't stay like this forever with the portal closed. It's a temporary solution, but if these creatures come from the Umbra, at some point they might be able to find their way here, the gate being closed or not.
Yes. I do think that we could potentially muster our resources and prepare ourselves and drive them out. But then keeping them out would be difficult. What may be easier, and Norsca says this through gritted teeth, is if we contacted Violet. She offered a solution to this exact problem.
All right, that'll just mean we gotta do that job, yeah.
Yes. We have to acquire the blood of a hitmark.
Which is not going to be that simple.
No.
Got it though.
However, again, I believe if we are able to give ourselves time to prepare, we lay an ambush, we have effects, powers in place, we may be able to. I've come face to face with them before. They're incredibly powerful, but I do not believe, from what I understand, that they are awakened.
So, as the person that's got actual experience with hit marks, what
I would
robots, right?
I would not overestimate my abilities. I have experience in fleeing from them, but
Yeah, I remember that.
Still better than what some other people got. They're basically like killer robots, yeah?
yes, more or less. The technocracy is not particularly imaginative.
Fair enough. So what? It's basically like a Terminator. Like it's like a robotic frame and it's got like some skin on it to make it look like a person. It's just a straight up killer robot.
A Terminator or an evil Iron Man, whatever term you prefer, really.
In the small amount of research I've done on them, yes, it has been brought to my attention that there are motion pictures that depict something similar to what I saw.
All right. So what I suppose what I mean to ask is, I'm just being a little roundabout about it. You can pick them out. Like you can kind of point to them and be like, "That's a fucking hit mark."
Yes, from what I understand.
All right.
I believe that if we are able to lull one into an ambush, we prepare an area, we can prepare certain environmental hazards. Ava, I believe you are able to summon illusions. If it could fight them, I could manipulate gravity in the area. The one I saw could certainly not fly.
The thing is, the illusions I summon are in your mind, so I would need to attack his mind.
Have you not told me that you can manipulate shadows? Maybe she's not told me that, actually. Maybe that was out of character. I'm sorry if it was.
I don't even know if I can do that. I believe I need Forces 3 for that, and I don't have that.
No, you need Forces 2.
No, I need Forces 2.
Yeah.
She then fuck it. We'll just do as she's told that, and she will not. I could, but I'm not sure how real I can make them look.
Even if it buys us a small amount of time, it may be enough. Like I said, I can reverse gravity in the area it's in, send it flying into the air. 100-foot drop should do some level of damage to it at least. Also, if we are able to hold it, then we may be able to we may be able to kill it. However, I do think that direct magic against it, these are mage killers. That is what they're made for. Maybe limited in its effect. But if we are able to slow it down, incapacitate it, then enough bullets may do the job, especially if we have enhanced them.
Here's another idea. I don't know if they count all magic or whatever, but any y'all seen what happens to like tanks and shit when you fucking put them out in the winter and in hella cold weather? Seen that shit in movies all the time. Maybe that'll work. We lower the temperature in an area, goes in, and starts freezing up the joints and shit.
I see no reason why this wouldn't work. It would have to be a strong effect to take effect so quickly, though. But I think we're on the right track.
How are you going to change the weather then? Like,
And
that
it's not
is
changing
very
the weather.
powerful magic.
We're not talking about changing the weather. Like we don't.
Oh, okay.
Well, we ain't doing nothing like that. We don't have nearly enough love for any of that shit. What I am talking about though is smooth talk. Some of the spirits in the area do our thing. Although for you, it's just regular ass casting some magic. Lower the temperature in an area. Bring it down to something that's not very hospitable to Terminators and computers. And we just kind of see what happens.
I think we're on the right track. If we were able to make the environment it is in extraordinarily hostile to it, it may incapacitate it or bring us some time so that we can destroy it with more conventional weapons that, although likely it is resistant to.
Don't forget that any kind of environmental changes would also affect us.
I believe I possess enough control to localize it enough. I do not think we will be close to this thing.
I mean, it still might be handy to prepare some winter clothings.
Yes, speaking of prepared clothing. And Nausicaa's going to quickly go to her room, and you actually hear her struggling with like a big box that she'll drag out of her room. I bought these for us. And she'll take out flak jackets. I've already prepared mine, but they should provide us some rudimentary protection, and they're not overly cumbersome. They fit under our clothes.
Theo, was there something you wanted to say?
Well, I think, yeah, we're not going to have much of a choice. I really don't believe it's going to be, it's not going to agree to have effect casted on it. So we're going to have to work on ourselves and on the outside environment.
Yes. We could even practice. If we are able to, and Nausicaa pauses, although we don't have the Horizon realm to do it in.
I mean, we can just use one of the empty rooms here. We'll have to account for the smaller space, but it's a bit safer than, say, the Horizon realm or on the street.
Yeah. The other question is luring it. And I do believe that I have something of a potential solution to that.
Oh.
I have the name and address of a member of the technocracy who I believe to be their equivalent of an awakened. It is, in fact, Kat, the person that I believe killed your cousin.
Bitchin'. So we get to kill two birds with one stone. Or rather, we get to kill one bird and then beat the other one to death repeatedly in a haze of anger and vengeance.
Well, I believe we go visit him and use him as bait. If they would likely send some kind of rescue, and if we are able to lure them out with him, there's potential they will send a hit mark if they believe that we are involved, or Awakened Tradition mages are involved.
We will need to have a spot that is not too much in public areas.
I also agree. This is where it becomes potentially difficult. Somewhere that we could have a showdown with them, where vulgar magic can be used in a city of 11 million people. It's not the easiest thing.
Well, you got to remember, they're also going to be a little limited too. And if
They don't
you have to go into the suburbs and the hit mark themselves, that's the main thing. As much as I want to whoop this dude's ass, we got to make sure that whatever we do will actually get a hit mark sent and not just black suits.
This is true.
How about renting a spot at the harbors? A big, what are they called again? I lost the a warehouse. Perhaps a big warehouse that we could rent.
We could do.
If we do it at night, there'll be not too many people around, and perhaps I can find a way to distract any accidental passerbys from the general area.
Most canons. This could work. If
I
they
think
think
that
it is
way-
going to be an enclosed encounter, they may be more likely to send a hit mark.
Exactly. And on the other hand, it will, well, at least take most eyes away from us.
Mm.
This could work. We should work on the details of the plan. Get the others involved.
Yes.
I am also believe that I am capable of remotely locating myself. I can appear in a place that I'm not by folding fourth dimensional space-time. So if we need it to fight illusions, as it were, distract it, give us enough time between me and Ava and the rest of you, I think that will be our MO. We distract it, incapacitate it, and then take it out at our leisure. Any form of confrontation with this will not end well, I believe. They are specifically made to kill our kind. If all goes well, we will not even get within a couple of dozen feet of us.
We also need to take into account that there might be people with him. That was the case the last time. They still had suits with them. So we're not only looking into taking out a hit mark, but we're looking into taking out, well, suits as well.
Yes. This is also true. If we have it on a key, some kind of escape route would be useful, an unconventional one. Or we simply deal with the suits as well.
If you want an exit strategy and some unconventional, I can talk to the rats a little bit.
I think we need to look into all options. We need to have an escape route. We also need to have a way to take out any suits.
I believe suits may not be too much of a problem.
Not for you, perhaps.
I can throw a card then.
Or we need to find a way to sever the hit mark from the suits.
Interesting.
Other item.
You believe they are controlled remotely?
I don't know. I don't know if they're controlled or if there's someone inside or if it is an entity of itself. Does it have a soul? I don't know. I'm not the expert on hit marks, but separating one from a group is something that we might be able to do.
Yes, I think you're right. This is why I think an ambush is best. If we are able to prepare, much of my magic at least takes time.
Yes.
If we are able to spend even several days preparing everything we need, working out every contingency, then I believe this gives us a strong chance of success. Especially if all of us are involved and we use all our skills.
One thing though, if we achieve our goal, Nausicaa, you can escape fastest. I think it would be prudent that you would take this item, whatever it was that Violet needed, and get back here as soon as possible. The rest of us will have to use another way to escape, but be here as quick as possible because ultimately we need to have that item. If we run into other difficulties on the way out, the item at least will be safe and you'll be able to bring it to Violet so we can get those wards up.
I think we should work on an escape plan that works for all of us. However, I do promise, if it comes to it and there is no other choice, but I think we should work on a plan. We shouldn't split up.
I agree with not splitting up the entire party. However, when it comes to the one item that we wanted and that we need, I feel if we have a way to get that back into the Chantry as fast as possible, that would work also in favor of the group that tries to escape. After all, if the technocrats are trying to zoom into that item, they will not find it in the Chantry, but they will find it on our way back.
I could potentially just put it in the Chantry. Fourth dimensional science gives us a lot of capabilities. And also is going to pull out her wand. Probably going to show off because it's fun.
I was going to say, Ava was going to raise her hand. It's like, we don't need a demonstration of it. I know what you can do.
Also looks a little disappointed. Puts her wand back in her jacket. Grumble, grumble. Probably best that I build a 2-inch paradox anyway.
God damn it.
I do think this would be. I do think this is within our capabilities. And if we can, as Kat says, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, we would also be strengthening the Chantry while simultaneously weakening the technocracy. The other issue of getting, his name is Joe Black, by the way. The other issue of getting him is if we can do some kind of confession on him. If you're able to take your time, use your magic on him, and he looks at Kat, she looks at Kat, more conventional means, we can get the truth of what happened. If the story gets out...
If you want the story to be evidence, then you should not get it with more conventional means because that would not count as evidence. Because anyone who's getting, well, forcefully, well, you know what I'm trying to say. She has definitely
I think you'd be
difficulty talking
surprised
about it.
Kat's gonna say, I think you'd be surprised at how many times that shit happens to go through. I feel you.
One of the key issues of proving the technocracy, or at least Iron Man's solutions, are corrupt and evil, is to limit their abilities to work with local law enforcement. And she'll look at Theo. What would be a key issue for the NYPD if we exposed it? This person is not a law enforcement agent, and yet he was able to murder a United States citizen with very little repercussions, if any.
Hmm. A problem. A problem generally comes with multiple facets. Generally, um, either he has a very, very powerful rich and lawyers who can exploit any weaknesses in how he has been arrested. Uh, then you have to take into account that maybe um, a judge have decided that it can bail out, or if he has enough of a if you have enough of a reach, then if you don't have physical undeniable proof that he did it, I'm gonna say the most probable solution is that they have a way to control the cops. They have a way to control them in order for them to act upon it. Because if they have control, then they don't really need to hide, because the crook will do it for them.
And what about a bell ringer?
Well, mainly the problem of a bell ringer is that, well, still need proof, still need proof and evidence. But I would say probably the best way to go about it is either you have someone who is uncorruptible in the force and will drive the case through and through, but they will still be under jurisdiction of their superiors. Because if, let's say, the FBI or the CIA, just pull off something that say you can't look, you have to drop the case. Yeah, there's not much we can do. I would recommend, however, if you want maximum results, is to go through social media. Social media tends to have a good driven force to help keep the affair afloat. If you have proof, any video or anything, which will, it will stop basically the people who wants to bury it to actually bury it, because people will ask them to be accountable for it.
So, Theo, if we have this person that's killed Kat's cousin, you try to say that 10 times in a row, and we have a video of him remorsing it and basically confessing on a video on social media. Would that work?
That could work. I would. I could ask. My old partner if he knows a district attorney that is, not a corrupted crook, and who would, jump on the case if they can. But yeah, I think having linked online with a campaign which is going to be sufficiently protected, because is that guy working for the protect Kratz or not? Or is he just, a random douchebag?
No, he was, right? Or he was working for that Iron Man Solutions?
He works for Iron Man Solutions, and on his employee profile, the one on Avalon computer program, the one on the Avalon program, which I believe is a technocratic server. He was listed as a Gamma level operative, which I believe means he is awakened.
Okay. So if he is with this private group, considering the recent event where pretty much they wanted to kind of erase cops, yeah. Generally, cops don't like that. Other people go on their turfs. They're very protective of their thing, which is one of the few things that they have. So I believe we can actually get some help from the police. But yeah, I would advise, since we have Tasha, who can provide us at least with some computer security, and we have probably among us people who are good in that aspect. If we can have a video that is not going to be drowned in the flood of information and have a way to be widespread with a good undermining campaign, then we can actually rise up people against forceful solution, which means that the cops and the politicians who are not corrupt and wanted to have a way to go at them but couldn't because they didn't have proof or didn't have basically the masses going, hey, we want people to be accountable. That will be the occasion for them to actually make a move.
We have
Otherwise they won't.
There is an NYPD police captain who has already been informed of this problem and will happily take it from there, as well as a couple of journalists. Here's one thing. Making him do a confession may be very difficult. And she looks at Ava. But
Probably.
if we make a video of it, it would not be overly difficult, I believe, to exactly replicate what he looks and sounds like, correct?
You'd need to ask Grace about that.
That's what I was thinking. If we have a confession, and then the truth is, if he does this confession and is then further emboldening our case. I know it's Machiavellian and perhaps fighting fire with fire, but I do not believe we should hold back when it concerns the Union. And this man is a murderer. He deserves what he gets.
Oh, I have one request then. I'm the one that slits his throat. I'm the one.
I don't want to. I mean, no, we're not going to kill him.
Ava, we are working on enlightened premise. Murder and sadism are not some things we should indulge in. However, he is a warrior in this war. There is a good chance that he has killed multiple of us, and his organization certainly has. We should indulge in torture or sadistic acts, but what's the other solution? We can't let him go.
I agree, we cannot. But if we have people in the police that are just, and we can just hand him over to them.
And then he denies the video, or he says it was taken under duress.
I will break his mind. But I will not kill him.
Wait.
I thought you were the voice of... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Cat's gonna say, wait a minute. So you're saying it's...
I'm not planning to break his mind.
Which
but
is
if
fair.
I can make him feel remorse, feel honest remorse, make him feel that he wants to confess, that he wants to get this sin wiped from his soul.
How can you force somebody to feel something honest?
Every human being has a sense of remorse. Just need to make him understand what he's done. He's probably found a way to justify. Ultimately, humans are.
No.
We're just using reasons to justify killings to ourselves. Like, man, this is exactly what we're doing right now. Pretending that he's not human.
Oh no, I've never pretended that this man was not a human being. But also, I do want to add, murder. Okay, so killing the dude, even whooping his ass, getting confession, not okay off the table. I understand why. But then, why is breaking his psyche on the table?
Because I'm not breaking him.
You are fundamentally altering his sense of right and wrong in order to achieve.
I'm changing the glasses that he looks through.
And then what is his punishment? Do you believe you're able to do this? The risk of letting him go, I think, is a risk we can't take. I'm sorry.
You can at least let me try.
Will we have the time, though?
You said it yourself. If we have time to prepare. If I have everything ready.
Moreover, this motherfucker killed my cousin. He killed my flesh and blood.
So you want to become like him?
No.
What if
I
he
want to
has
get
a
what's
cousin?
fucking right for my fucking family.
What if he has a cousin or a family or even children and a wife?
This
and
argument has devolved into personal level. I don't believe this is a constructive direction for the conversation. Ava and Kat, if Ava was given a set amount of time to attempt to do what she needs to, and then if that fails, we do it the other way. Is that a fair compromise?
Fair enough.
Oscar looks at Ava.
She does not look very happy about it, but she'll nod.
The truth is, and it may sound inhumane, but the object of this mission is not to make a technocrat realize his sins. The object of this mission is to take down Iron Man Solutions and secure the security of our sanctuary, of our chantry. If this man has done wrong, which he has, if you believe in a soul, then that's for him to work out. It's not our responsibility.
But we can open his eyes.
Out of character, Sasuke, did you mean for that to be inaudible? Because I actually didn't hear that.
Oh, sorry. No, I did not. Ava said,
Okay.
but we can try to open his eyes.
If that's what you want to do, then I believe if you can prepare and have a set amount of time. But the truth is, we can't let this person's fate endanger all of ours.
I know. I'm aware of that. But if there's a chance that we don't need to resort to killing or that more lives will be lost, I would like to try that.
Oscar looks kind of, like she's just considering, a little pensive.
Even if he confess, I think it can be pretty safe to say that he's going to die either way.
It strikes me that whatever resources the technocracy puts into pursuing and attacking us, they would put much more into somebody that has betrayed them.
Yes. And also, Iron Man Solution would obviously want to not be linked in any way, so having him, being silenced is probably what they will go for.
Oscar nods. Kat, in the past we've talked of a form of higher vengeance. Although this man is the one that did the deed, he had superiors that gave the order. Would you be content with knowing that those that ordered him to pull the trigger are having their plans stymied? Or do you need this man's blood?
Ultimately, it's not something I need. Something that I think my family deserves, but I ain't gonna put my shit before our needs.
If it is proved that he was working corruptly and it was an illegal killing, likely your family would be able to launch a successful lawsuit against the city for allowing it.
We don't have to see them.
I know that wouldn't make it up for the loss you've suffered, but
It is what it is.
and also maybe if we do this, the next family that they gun down just simply won't happen. There will be a lot of good done that we won't even know about. So,
Also, no matter what, he will get what he deserves in this life or the next. I'm pretty sure that in whatever he believes, the Furies are waiting.
kind of, yeah, gives Theo this look of like, are you fucking with me? Yes, something to that effect. So we're agreed. We kidnap this man. We use him as bait to lure out what we need. And then we kill two birds with one stone. We get Violet what she needs to secure the chantry. And we use either a confession or a simulated confession by him to create enough public and media pressure for the Iron Man Solutions to face significant consequences. I believe we should take time to prepare, see what rituals and effects we can think of that would be helpful in a fight against something that is largely resistant to our magic and highly lethal if it gets up close. It may potentially be armed as well with weaponry. Although the one I encountered was not. We encountered, sorry.
Is there anything else we need to discuss?
We need to reactivate Julie. I believe that we gave her enough time to think.
What? Reactivate?
Me and Ava were thinking about the demon problems. Mainly being that we need to find a way to make research. And all three of you have witnessed them. But if we want to make research activate contacts, if those are demons, for example, real, full-fledged fucking demons, then I would believe, for example, that technically the choristers would know, or at least would know where to look, or other people, Violet would know also, probably. So we were thinking of making portraits of them so that we may be able to, transport the picture and not being like, oh yeah, only we few who have witnessed or those who have been mentally imprinted by Ava know what they look like. because at this point we're kind of searching into the dark, because we can't really go into the other side right now because we're not sure if they are there or not. And the last time we saw him, the Guardian of the Chantry was not really in a talkative mood, which means that we will have to do research ourselves or search ally who have means of searching into books that we do not possess. Just like, when you and as he turned to Ava, when you talked to I believe your master, your tutor.
My former tutor, yes.
Yeah, your
Jeanette.
former tutor. She, I mean, I guess medics must have books, but more or less the point that she was making is that I kind of don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what it looks like, what it does. So perhaps you should also go and search for, the Kavadi or other allies. So
Actually, I think I know what general direction they came from, but to get there, I can't. I don't think I can take any of you along.
okay, I mean, the question is not really can you take us there, but like, what is your idea of where they come from?
I think they came from the spirit world, the Umbra. There was a pathway there that you can see, and I walked that pathway, and I found, as I was walking, I found different, directions. It seemed almost like different worlds, planets. I don't know, areas, realms, whatever you want to call them. I know there was one that was purely black and one was silvery. They came from another direction, from something red, like it's kind of obvious, really.
Okay, I I see what you're saying, but you still don't know 100% for sure what they are.
No,
You have a clue, which will help us to make to narrow the search, but we need to know what they are first, because obviously if they're spirit, they must be binded by rules, like how Christian demons fear crosses, or how ghost, if you put salt, if you put salt in front of them, they can cross. Like, if we need to don't do a search on your own, because even if you can do it,
I'm not.
like, but
I mean,
yeah,
I'm planning to step back into the spirit world soon, but I'm not going that way yet.
but yeah, as I agree that going at violet is indeed the solution to make the protection. We kind of must not forget that they're still there, and we should know what they are, and know about the big bad beast that killed the previous gentry. That might be useful.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, even if, once we get this item that Violet wants, then she still will need to go there, and that probably means that we will have to fight them. So it might be in our interest to see what we can come up with to fight them.
Yeah, that would be kind of problematic if we go at them with fireball and fire somehow heals them.
Yeah. But I think that is our next step. For now, our first step is the technocracy issue, and although we can look into it, I think we will need to worry about these, well, flame entities and this beast that might come upon us later. I've even considered that they might be one and the same, or that these might be their like predecessor of this big beast you were talking about.
Yeah, good old pre-harbinger of doom.
Mhm. Are there any tasks that need to be divided, or does everybody know what they need to do?
I believe we have all an idea of what we need to do. There is one other thing that slightly to the side and not a priority, but if any of us wish to stretch our legs, may give us some more interesting insight. The various chantries, the demon in the basement of the hermetic one. Ave, your ex mater, said that it was best to simply leave it be if it was not a problem.
Hmm.
We do have an agreement with Samir that we need to give him magical items we find.
We're not going to give him that.
No, absolutely. We did find some books that have been useful, but there is a church, an Orthodox church, that me and Grace went to that, and again, Nausicaa looks kind of reluctant to say this, has a aggressive psychic implantation of the deceased.
It's haunted? Are you saying
What?
it's haunted?
I'm saying it's haunted. Nausicaa like sighs and just gives in.
I bitchin'.
Are you saying that there is highly it's trying to find it's trying to find a word that there's a high ectoplasmic activity?
Oh, he's trying to be nice to Nausicaa, yeah.
I mean, it's more like since she's flat out denying that, versus ghosting, he's like, okay, I just want to be sure she's not being just a stubborn bitch.
Oh, she is.
So that's why he used the term ectoplasmic activity.
I am not a paranormal scientist, but I believe that may be the case. The church is full of bodies. When I remotely viewed it, it was pretty disturbing. I tried to push my vision and my projection behind the altar, and I've experienced significant pain. And I saw something, and so did Grace, a face. So, yes, as Kat said, it is haunted. Or at least that would be the culturally appropriate, if not accurate, monkia that one could apply.
I mean, on the upside, me and Grace won't burst into flames if we walk in, man.
Well, if it's haunted, I guess I'll need to work out the old Theo charm.
Yes.
People love talking to me. I'm screaming eternal agony about their suffering.
There's definitely supernatural and paranormal activity there. It may be that it is worth looking into. Although I would not like to go back unaccompanied.
Theo, I think I could perhaps assist you.
I mean, I'm open for anybody.
Let's fucking do it.
Yeah, there'll be That'll be a good experience. Probably will help us to look into exercising, which I think will be useful once we go back to the temple, because kind of need to exercise those poor bastards.
Oscar shrugs.
Back to the cycle.
Well, if you need me to look into something or really anything,
I'm completely open for other people and other point of view.
Well, I think this sounds. Nausicaa looks. You actually see that Nausicaa is like kind of reluctant of the idea of going back there. Maybe a little apprehensive.
Somewhere in the back of her head, she hear, "Bing, bing." Good old submarines.
She saw this place. Nausicaa was terrified. She was
Yeah, I
really
know.
scared by it. But no, not even the submarine. When she went to this place, she was scared as well. But sure to say, the other chantries are the technocratic casino that I believe we should avoid at all costs unless absolutely necessary. And she looks at Kat, the orphans we met, who are entirely unhelpful and very rude.
They are pretty rude. They did pull a gun on us, but we did kind of pop off back.
I was very polite. I offered them help. They threw it back in my face. They can continue living in that slum if they like. They don't want help.
That you was trying to be polite. I do not doubt that. I don't think it came across that way.
I believe they have some kind of prejudice against me because I'm a member of the Order of Hermes. However, if you wish to deal with them, feel free. My presence would likely only sour any conversation either way.
anything else that needs to be discussed?
No, I don't think so on my part. Although I would say if we were to have difficulty with ghosts, and I believe perhaps it would be time to make a search for any representation of the Euphanatoi. From what I read, are kind of the entropic specialists.
Yes. Speaking of them, if you're able to communicate with goats, and as you point out, this is the specialty of Euthanatoi, have you considered joining a tradition, Theo?
Well, from what I've read in the books, seems that my orientation is more or less going to be either Euphanatoi or Kavadi. So, for now, considering my affinity with Ghost, I will probably make a move to the Euphanatoi to learn more from their own mouth and see if our philosophy align. Otherwise, there's no really point of joining simply because Ghost likes to talk to me.
Well, if we're gonna look for them anyway,
Hmm.
I will ask around within the order. I think Nausicaa, if you do the same.
Yes. Also, while we're asking, we should seek some seek some representative of the Celestial Chorus. Cross-reference the man we met against him.
Yes, I agree. If he is indeed from the Celestial Order, then we might know why he is now an ex-Celestial Order.
Yes, if he is a traitor to the traditions, then he is our enemy and an enemy of Ascension. If he's simply left on amicable terms, then fine, whatever.
And if they don't know him at all, then
Then
it
he's
also
a-
be useful to know.
Then he may be a liar.
Right. Well, then I guess with that we can
Yes.
conclude the meeting.
Yes.
It was. Thank you all for coming, and well, let everybody go on their way now. On a personal note, I'll be busy tonight, so I'll talk to you all later. Enjoy the cookies. Yeah, Alpha will get up and walk towards her room.
Nausicaa's looking at Ava suspiciously.
When is Nausicaa not looking at Ava suspiciously?
Always. She looks at everyone suspiciously.
Uh,
But
Theo is going to take a few cookies with him. All right. I'm gonna need to test some curses and blessings.
oh, there is one more thing. Apologies. Kat and Theo, there are some things we may need to acquire.
Okay.
Better forms of weaponry, and also some level of illegal drugs or some kind of contraband. Grace needs it.
He's gonna look at Cat because he's an ex-cop, so it's like,
Oh, hey, I thought I was going to avoid being automatically assumed to know how to get the fucking drugs. Although I do know people I can get you the hookup. What you need.
You've told me on numerous occasions you're capable of. But you should talk to Grace. It's about the person we know. She wishes to frame him, as I believe we've discussed in the past, Kat.
I still think she needs to murk that dude too, but whatever.
It would be more convenient, however, compassion and mercy are virtues of enlightenment, so even though they are even though they are sometimes inconvenient, and she shrugs.
I feel you. I'll see what I can do. I know some people like if she's talking about that crazy shit. I can't get her the fucking hookup with that fucking crocodile shit. Nah,
Crocodiles?
Dude, oh my god. Anyway, told you about that fucking I don't even know what it's fucking called. It's like this fucking crocodile drug that gives you fucking like necrosis and shit. It's fucked up. I picture it. It's bad. Anyway.
Nausicaa just looks absolutely bewildered. She's imagining in her head people like smoking bits of crocodile. I think it's like crococillin, though. I've heard of it. It's fucking...
Yeah. Cat don't have science, so she don't know what it's called.
But for weapons, I mean, it's gonna be a little bit complicated for my partner, my ex-partner to hand over some weapons. But however, he can probably get me a name of an armed dealer, which It's still better than nothing. Because we know those bastards. We know some of them.
Yes.
All right. I'll check what I can do on that end.
Well, if that is all, we all have plenty to do. And please don't forget and she holds up the flak vests.
He's going to take the flag vest, just like in the old days. And and he will go off while humming the Ghostbusters theme song because fuck it.
Alright, and I think that is it.
Okay, thank you all players for playing. Thank you all watchers for watching. This was another scene for Living World of Darkness, the Mage venue.